All right, well, hello, sixth grade. We're getting into uh, more here into chapter 2, and we're starting with lesson 2.6 today. And this is just going to kind of be a little review on long division. These concepts are not going to be new today. But in case you were wondering, we've got long division, and the order of long division that we want to keep track of is divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, start over. When it comes to long division, you never want to change this order. So I'm going to say that again. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and as long as you can bring down, then you need to start over again. We're going to start here with 5,275 divided by 6. So first we look at this and we say, well, 6 cannot go into 5, but 6 can go into 52. This is where knowing those multiplication tables is important. 6 can go into 52 8 times. We know that 8, and I put that 8 right above the 2 to keep it lined up. If I put the 8 above the 5, that's indicating that 6 can go into 5 8 times, and that is not what I want to do. 6 can go into 52 8 times. Then I'm going to do 8 times 6. 8 times 6 is 48. So it's divide 6 into 52 8 times. Then I multiply. 6 times 8 is 48. Then I'm going to subtract 52 minus 48. Well, I can't do 2 minus 8. So I'm going to borrow from the 5, make it a 4, and make the 2 a 12. Then I'm going to do 12 minus 8. 12 minus 8 is 4. 4 minus 4 is nothing. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring down the 7. Once again, I'm going to think about my 6 times tables. I already know that 6 times 8 was 48. So I'm thinking that 6 is only going to be able to go into 47 7 times. And then I'm going to do 6 times 7. 6 times 7 is going to be 42. Then I'm going to do 47 minus 42. 7 minus 2 is 5. 4 minus 4 is nothing. I'm okay with that because 5 is less than 6. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring down the 5. I'm going to think about my 6 times tables again, and I'm going to think that 6 can go into 55 9 times because 6 times 9 is 54. Okay? 55 minus 54. We're going to hold that in place there. 55 minus 54, I think, is 1. And since I have nothing left to bring down, I do not need to start over again. It's that idea. Anytime I bring down, I've got to start over. I end up with a remainder of 1, which is okay because that's less than 6. I can have a remainder of 1 when I'm dividing by 6. So I'm going to put remainder 1. All right, we're going to go on to this next one. And this one's a little different because it involves a 2-digit number here. 837 divided by 28. What I want to do first, because we don't really want to work with our 28 times tables, but what I'm going to do is round that to 30. All right, you're going to see what I'm going to do here. And so in my mind, I'm going to pretend that I'm working with a 3. Because what I think, I know that 28 can't go into 8, but I do know that it can go into 83. Maybe not evenly, but 28 is smaller than 83. And I'm going to think that the number of times that 3 can go into 8 is the same number of times that 28 can go into 83. Well, I know that 3 can go into 8 2 times, so I'm going to try 28 times 2. And 6th graders, you're going to have to do some scratch work sometimes. 2 times 8 is 16. Put the 6 down, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. I end up with 56. But now I have to make a decision. Do I want to put a 2 here and a 56 right here? Well, I'm not sure. So I'm not sure whether 56 is big enough. So just to be safe, I'm going to try 28 times 3. Doesn't hurt to do some scratch work, okay, just to make sure you get the right answer. Well, 3 times 8 is 24. Put the 4 down, carry the 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2. So again, my paper's kind of moving around, is 8. I get 84. Well, that's going to be too big because it's only going into 83. So now I know that I can go ahead for sure and put a 2 here and a 56 here. And I'm going to go ahead and subtract. I can't do 3 minus 6. So I borrow from the 8, make it a 7, make the 3 a 13. I'm going to do 13 minus 6, which I know is 7. I'm going to do 7 minus 5, which I know is 2. I get 27 left over. And I find that I'm okay with that because I'm dividing by 28. As long as I have a number less than 28, I'm okay. I can bring down the 7. So that tells me that I can go ahead and start over again. And so once again now I know that 28 cannot go into 2. It cannot go into 27. But it can go into 277. I need to figure out how many times. Well, 3 cannot go into 2, but it can go into 27 9 times. So the first thing I'm going to come down here and try is 28 times 9, just to see what I get. Well, 9 times 8 is 72. Put the 2 down, carry the 7. 9 times 2 is 18, plus the 7 is 25, I get 252. And I know I'm not allowed to put a number bigger than 10. I'm going to be confident that my multiplication here is correct. Because even if I did 28 times 10, the 28 times 1 is 28. Add the 0, I'd get 280. So I'm going to proceed with confidence that the numbers I want are 9 and then this 252. And when I go ahead and subtract that, 7 minus 2 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 minus 2 is nothing. I get a remainder of 25, which is okay when I'm dividing by 28. So I get 29, remainder 25. All right. This next one is written as a fraction. Now remember what we said in class before, this idea that a fraction is just a division problem. And all this is 2001 divided by 87. So I'm going to go ahead and get a clean sheet of paper here. And since it was 2001 over 87, I'm going to turn that basically into 87 going into 2001. Now just like I did on the previous 2-digit, I'm going to round this. 87 is going to get rounded to 90 because that 7 tells me the rule is 5 and higher. I round up, so that becomes an 8. It's going to become a 9. I'm going to use the number 9. Well, I know that 87 can't go into 2. I know that 87 can't go into 20, but it can go into 200. And I think that the number of times that 9 can go into 20 is the same number of times that 87 can go into 200. Well, I think 9 can go into 22 times because 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. So the first thing I'm going to try is 87 times 2. Well, 2 times 7 is 14. Put the 4 down, carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. I get 174. That seems pretty close, especially when it's 87. So I'm going to go ahead and be confident and put a 2. The 2 has to go over this 0 because it's not going into 2 times. It's not going into 22 times. It's going into 200 2 times. 87 can go into 200 2 times. 87 times 2 is 174. I borrow from the 2, make it a 1. Make this 0 a 10. Borrow from that 10, make it a 9. Make that 0 a 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 7 is 2. I'm okay ending up with 26 after I because I'm dividing by 87. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the 1 down. And now I've got to figure out how many times 87 can go into 261. Well, once again, I can use my smaller numbers, 9 and 26. Well, 9 can go into 26 twice. So I already know what 87 times 2 is. This is why 6th grade, it's always good to not erase your scratch work so you can refer to it later, because sometimes you might have to do that same problem over again. So I'm going to do 87 times 2, which is 174. Question is, I'm not sure. 174 and 261, there's some good distance there. So sometimes you have to look and think, I'm not sure if that's going to be big enough. So just to be safe, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to try 87 times 3 just to see what's going to happen. 3 times 7 is 21. Put the 1 down, carry the 2. 3 times 8 is 24. Plus the 2 is 26. Well, look at that. 261, 261. It worked out perfectly. 87 can go into 261 3 times. I proved here that 87 times 3 is 261. When I subtract those, I get 0. All right. That's a review on long division, 6th grade. Talk to you later. Bye.